Oasis Audio presents The Robin's Greeting by Wanda E. Brunstetter, read for you by Rebecca Gallagher. Chapter 1. Strasburg, Pennsylvania. Belinda, Belinda, Belinda. She opened her eyes, still heavy with sleep, sure that the voice she'd heard was her beloved husband, Vernon, calling out to her. But that couldn't be. He'd been gone nearly 2 years, killed in a tragic accident that had also taken the lives of her son Abe and son-in-law Toby. The voice Belinda heard must have been a dream, or just the howling November wind outside her bedroom window. Belinda lay there, with the quilt on her bed pulled up to her chin. The lovely covering with the wedding ring pattern had been made by her mother and given to Belinda and Vernon the day they'd gotten married. To her, it was a priceless treasure. Belinda remained still as she reminisced about days gone by. While there'd been some tough times over the years, nothing she had faced compared to the agony of losing 3 family members in the same day. Her struggles had increased with the responsibility of running the greenhouse without Vernon's help. Belinda didn't know what she would have done without the help of her daughters and teenage son. They'd needed the greenhouse for financial support, and even more, they'd needed each other for emotional support. Now that Amy was married to Jared and Sylvia was in a relationship with Dennis, things had changed once again. Belinda was okay with all of that. What she wasn't okay with was the senseless vandalism on her property, most recently the barn. Seeing the building her husband built go up in flames had pierced her heart like a dagger. No one knew how the fire had started. It may have been arson, but if someone had been smoking in or near the barn, the fire could have been an accident. Unable to resume her sleep, Belinda fluffed her pillows and sat up in bed. How grateful she was for all the help they'd received a few weeks ago when they built a replacement barn. English and Amish friends, neighbors, and family members came together and gave of their time. Now Belinda and her family were ready to begin again, with the hope and prayer that things would settle down and there'd be no more vandalism or tragedy. Given all the needless attacks they'd experienced, Belinda felt certain someone wanted to put them out of business, and perhaps do enough harmful things so Belinda would become discouraged and move somewhere else. She swiped her tongue across her parched lips and swallowed. At one time, Belinda had believed that her youngest son might have been responsible for the vandalism that had occurred in and around the greenhouse. After his father and brother died, Henry let it be known that he did not want to take over the beekeeping job Abe used to do. Nor did Henry wish to help in the greenhouse, but he'd assured Belinda that he was not responsible for any of the destruction to their property. She had no reason to doubt him. Henry had proved himself many times with all the help he'd done around here. If the greenhouse folded, Henry would have as much to lose as Belinda and her daughters, since it was the sole means of their livelihood. Belinda's eldest son, Ezekiel, a minister who lived in Clymer, New York, had offered to give up his bee-raising supply business and move back to Strasburg to help in the greenhouse. But Belinda insisted that he and his family stay put in the community that had become their home. Bringing her thoughts to a halt, she turned on the battery-operated light resting on the nightstand beside her bed and looked at the alarm clock. It was almost 5 a.m. She turned off the alarm, pulled the covers back, and climbed out of bed. It was time to begin another day. When Belinda entered the kitchen, she found her eldest daughter in front of the stove. The light from the gas lamp hanging on a ceiling hook illuminated the room, and except for the whistle of the wind outside, all was quiet. "Guter Marie, Sylvia." Belinda placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "You're up early this morning." "Good morning, Mom." Sylvia turned the propane gas burner on under the tea kettle. "The howling wind..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?